Hey, what is up everybody, Blaze here, and today for you guys another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video, guys, we're going to be going ahead and going over the Velvet Trials section. Now, this is a section that you're going to be getting a ton of gems for, and I feel like a lot of you guys really are kind of sleeping on this section. You don't want to, of course, take it too fast, but it is a good place to get some mats and, of course, gems out of it. So if you guys are interested in this, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. And as always, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It really does help me out quite a lot. We're pushing on the 12K, so we're going to continue going ahead and doing as much as we can to hit that marker. And hopefully before we hit it, I can kind of figure something out for the 10K. But that's as if my body and everything with sickness decides to stop being mean to me. But I'm going to go ahead and get straight into it here and dive into the metaverse. Now, the metaverse has the section being the Velvet Trials. Now, this has the Sea of Souls Velvet Trials, which is the ranking mode, and then of course you have the actual Velvet Trials. Now, the actual Velvet Trials is the one where we're going to be talking about, and it's going to be split into Technician, which has various amount of different ones, different little trials that you will need 2 whole teams for. Then you have the other ones that are more specific. Player of Arcanic Flame being at least, I think it's Fire and Psy, and it does depend on those characters. We have Nuclear Winter, which of course is Nuke and of course Ice. Then we have Thunderous Blessing being Thunder and Bless, as you guys can see right here. And then we have All Ill and Ill Wind, which is Curse and Wind. Now, all of these are going to be very, very important because they all will have their own gem factor. You guys really want to go ahead and complete these as much as possible, because as you can see from each one of these, and we've only collected about, let me check, 150 gems out of this. You can get yourself 250, 350, 450, 550 right there, 650. Then around, at least we're getting at least 800, 950, nearly about 1,200, I think, or 1,100. Then we have 1,250. Then of course we have 1,400 right here. This is all going to be amazing, or maybe it's 1,500. Yeah, I'm over here miscounting. I missed 100 someplace, but 1,500. At the end of the day, all of these are going to be 1,500, and you really want to get this because, of course, if you can go ahead and add that up, it's going to give you a ton of gems. This is going to be your main deal for gems here, and it's also going to give you a lot of mats that normally you would end up having to farm. So at the end of the day, this is going to be something that you guys really want to go ahead and pay attention to, because if you do end up paying attention to it, it's going to give you around at least 6,000 gems pretty dang easily. So the only hard part about this, how the heck do we achieve this? How the heck are we going to make these teams? What's going to go down? But one of the few things I can say about this is it is going to be a little bit of a long ride. I feel like a lot of you guys kind of see it and you get a little bit overwhelmed. And I'll say something, it's not as hard as you guys think. As long as you're not trying to play the game on auto, much like I be doing at times, as long as you're not trying to play the game on auto, it's pretty easy to kind of get up these points and get what you need done. The hard part is just going to come down to you have to take control and do it yourself. Just like at least other prior things when it comes down to score battles in P5, this is the same way. You have certain actions that you need to go ahead and do, and these certain actions are going to be allowing you to at least essentially get as many points as possible. For me, I kind of personally try not to at least attack with anyone who is not having these weaknesses and things like that, but you really want to go ahead and try your hardest to attack with characters that do have those weaknesses. So when of course building a team, be sure to go ahead and build what you need around it. Whether of course this one is for Curse and Wind, you want to make sure at all costs you have the amount of things needed to get those extra points. The more points the better, and make sure just none of your characters get KO'd on the way there. One of the main reasons that I have Soy in here is he's a good character to end up bringing for SOS, or at least a good character to bring for these trials, seeing that you're going to need that sustainability. Having him and Puppet in the same team, whatever type of characters that you're using to go along inside of at least the trials, is going to come in handy, especially for a lot of you guys who can't really survive. Now, if you want to underlevel clear this is probably the best way to do it. And all I can say is try not to attack with your person who's just being there. You want as many hits as possible for at least the characters that are getting the bonuses, seeing that they are really going to push forward that more of that multiplier. You don't want to kill too quickly as well, because killing too quick could very well hurt your score amount and could cause you some huge problems. So doing that can be a little bit of a problem for some people. So you do want to at least pace yourself a little bit. Now, in times like this, where of course your character is dizzied or something has happened, be sure to use that off character to try your hardest and actually what's it called, take advantage of the situation and really get more points out of it. So if you want to, you can use item, use whatever you need, and utilize them more of as a utility characters. Try not to use them as a actual unit that is needed for things, because you're going to end up putting yourself in a bind that could very well make things a lot worse for you. But as you can see, it's pretty simple. You gotta sit here. It sometimes does take a little bit of time, and if you are doing this yourself, you more or less can at least adapt to it and make it a lot easier for yourself. You can take control of your Navi, you can take control of your whole team and do things the right way. Though if you end up letting the bot take control, the bot's more or less just gonna focus on damage overall and not fully sustaining, because if they're not having to sustain, it just makes it even easier for them. They can go ahead and just kill the mob, do what they need to do, and it could end up leading to your characters getting KO'd. It could end up leading to people just not dealing enough damage and things like that. So you do want to try and have your best options ready, and we're actually cutting it very close because our damage is at least on the lower side right now, but you would end up trying your hardest to just deal as much damage as possible. So what we have here, we dealt some damage with this, which is absolutely nice. Then we get the all-out attack, and if we were in that case for our CPU, it wouldn't have ended up doing something like that. We either would have killed it too early, or we wouldn't have gotten the record that we got just from just the regular things that we were able to adapt to. It does get progressively harder, and I feel like a lot of you guys are letting that kind of scare you away. Don't let it scare you away. It's not as bad as you guys do think. And let's say now I can't get any further than 10. What you want to try to do is then focus on the other ones at hand. So we have Thunderous Blessing. Meaning your main one for at least the Thunder type challenge here is you want to make sure no matter what, you have yourself a sustainer. So this can either end up being our man Lufel, or it can end up being at least Soy. With this in mind, you want to make sure you have Closer in here. And then for anyone else, if you wanted to, you could use Yuki, because you need at least a Thunder or a Blessed character. These both, although they are lower, they're still going to help us out. And the rest of the, at least the DPS side of things, you can go ahead and use Wonder. Bring of course a Blessed one, bring of course a Thunder one, and then a one that is in a flex position. This flex position, if you want at least an option for me, could either be a buffer, it could either be something like another buffer like Succubus, or we can end up using a debuffer like of course Leon the Slide, who could end up sitting here using debuffs to help us out a lot. But always keep these two, or either keep Lufel and keep at least Navigator. Using these two are going to make your life a lot better. And although you may be on the lower end of the spectrum for damage like me, because I'm pretty sure I don't have enough damage for a Closer, it will still come in handy, seeing our man Wonder is going to pick up the slack that we are missing. We're going to deal a little bit less damage than normal, but it still will be more helpful to utilize them rather than just relying purely on anything else. So we do keep that in mind. For example, go ahead and use our weak here. Not going to deal much damage, but we are still knocking out everything that we need to knock out. So I'm going to go ahead and use this as well, get some damage in, making sure we're dealing some damage here. And then thankfully, to at least everything that we have, and we have our defenses up, we're able to at least try and take out some of these guys. And you can just take down the cheaper stages. You don't have to do anything too hard. You don't have to do anything too crazy, but it's still a good source to get some materials that you're lacking and get some gems that you're lacking. But all in all, it's going to depend on at least your strategy and how you end up doing this. So try to at least focus a little bit on some things that you're doing here. But thank you guys for watching this video. I didn't want to make it all too long here, and actually I did terrible because we killed way too fast on that one. That's one of those moments where if you kill too fast, you won't get all the points that you do need here. But we killed too fast on that one, and I'm gonna actually try and break down some teams, or have some teams for you guys to really go through some of these matches, because I know a lot of people want these gems. I know a lot of people really want to figure out how far they can go in this, and I'll definitely have teams for both side A and B for this later on, so surely look forward to that as well. But for now, thank y'all for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace out.